Blind, Buy, and Feature. My husband, Christopher, was once a financial planner, even though he couldn't balance our budget. His clients trusted him implicitly, and he made them feel secure. In exchange, they paid him very well. We had a nice life then, except for the occasional blip on the radar screen of our relationship. Nothing that could not be solved with a few soft words or a trip to the bedroom. Usually little tips about money. My yoga studio was just starting to make a profit, and I had recently decorated it in a lovely minimalist way, in neutral tones with simple prints and accents like straw-colored zinc cushions and clay photo pots. At last I was in control of my working life and poured my heart and soul into making it succeed. When we first met, I fell hard for Christopher right away, although I wouldn't call it love. I had never been with a man who was prettier than I was, but after a while, I got used to it, and it didn't bother me so much. I was recovering from a broken heart and needed something to help me move on. If it wasn't love, it was good enough, and when he asked me to marry him, I jumped at the chance, knowing that it might be my last. Things started out so well. I was working steadily, and Christopher was patently climbing up the ladder in his department. Then, without any warning, one overcast winter afternoon in year 5, he just upped and left his desk in the grey cubicle at the bank, handed in his resignation, and came home and told me he wanted to start an interior design business. He is a well-loved mixing and matching, and he has a real eye for color, texture, and shape. But the idea of turning a hobby into a business wasn't something we had ever discussed. I thought the stress of his job was becoming too much, and perhaps he would take a few months off over the spring and summer to relax, do a project or two, and get the idea out of his system. I didn't believe he could be serious. But once he had a few clients, thanks to my sister, who has a lot of rich friends, he began to roll up plans, ordering catalogs, and scouting vintage furniture shops, turning our empty workshop into a kind of makeshift studio with all of his sketches pinned to the wall. After spending a lot of time and money on all of this preparation, and really doing quite a nice job of it, he called his client in turn and apologized, saying he wasn't well and wouldn't be able to decide their living space after all. Then he went to bed. He has been home now for almost a year. In the beginning, he just slept for most of the day, then got up, but stayed in his pajamas, watching opera and whatever come on afterwards. Did not even shower or shave most of the time. He didn't and doesn't want to have sex with me anymore either. Our sex life was the best thing about our relationship. And now he has changed his mind again and has decided to take a course in jewelry design. I am trying to support the idea because I'm happy that anything interests him at all. But I have to say, this life I have with him at the moment feels a bit old and sometimes, lots of times, unfair. For one thing, I have had to close my studio location downtown and start running classes out of the house, also with Christopher out of work, and for who knows how long. I have to pay for everything myself. There is just no other cash coming in. Yoga clients coming to the house isn't so bad. I have got an area for them in the workshop, now that it's heated, and there's quite a lot of space available there. Yes, the new studio is working out, but still, it's not always easy to get Christopher and the trail of mud he leaves wherever he goes out of sight. At least he's getting raised these days, so it's not as though I have to hide him the way I did in the beginning. Most afternoons, I give him some money so he can go to the movies. Apparently, he's seeing a lot of them. He never used to go by himself, but everything is different now. I try not to think about where he might be if he's not at the movies. My imagination just shuts down. What's the matter with seeing a movie by yourself, really? He's smoking now, too, and I have to pay for his cigarettes. I try to keep the incense burning when I know people are coming over, and that gets rid of most of it. But it's not something I like. I wish we could talk about the smoking and the money problem, and why he's suddenly going to movies in the afternoon alone, sometimes two of them. But we can't. I wish I could ask him why he doesn't want to sleep with me. The one time I tried, he started to cry, and even though he didn't say anything, I thought it was better to wait for him to come around by himself rather than punch. Wouldn't you? At this very moment, Christopher is sitting at the kitchen table, trying to make a pair of earrings from some bits and pieces of old jewelry I have given him to practice on, and he seems so peaceful. The important thing is that right now he needs my support. I know that I can't think about myself. It would be selfish, would not it? Later, when he's feeling better, more himself,